Have you ever wondered what would happen if gravity just vanished? Not weakened, not reversed, just gone in an instant. It sounds like something out of a comic book, right? But the reality would be far more chaotic and fascinating than you can imagine. Let's dive into this mind-bending hypothetical scenario. What if gravity suddenly disappeared? Right now, you're being held to your chair, to the floor, to the earth itself by gravity. The moment it switches off, that connection is severed. Anything not bolted down would immediately start floating. You, your desk, your pet, cars on the street, everything would begin to drift upwards. Why upwards? Because the Earth is spinning. At the equator, our planet rotates at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. Gravity is the only thing keeping us from being flung off into space like a pebble from a slingshot. So in that first second, we would all be launched into the air. It wouldn't be a gentle float, it would be a sudden, violent launch. The speed would depend on your location. Near the poles, you'd just gently lift off, but at the equator, you'd be shot skyward at a blistering pace. Chaos would erupt. Buildings, bridges, and all human-made structures, no longer held down by their own immense weight, would begin to crumble and fly apart. The very ground beneath our feet, the rocks and soil, would start to break away from the planet. But the real catastrophe isn't happening on the surface. It's what's happening to the Earth itself. Our planet is a massive ball of molten rock and metal, held together in its spherical shape by its own powerful gravity. Without that force, the immense pressure at the core would be released. The Earth would essentially explode. It would expand outwards, a rapidly disintegrating cloud of rock, magma, and superheated gas. It would be the end of our world in the most spectacular and terrifying way possible. And what about the atmosphere? The air we breathe is also held to the Earth by gravity. Without it, our atmosphere would dissipate into the vacuum of space almost instantly. The air would be sucked from our lungs, and the sky would turn from blue to black. The pressure drop would be so extreme that the water in our bodies would begin to boil, even at cold temperatures. It's a gruesome thought, but that's the harsh reality of a vacuum. Let's zoom out a bit. It's not just Earth that's in trouble. The entire solar system is a delicate dance choreographed by gravity. The moon orbits the Earth, and the Earth and all the other planets orbit the Sun, all thanks to gravity. If gravity disappeared, this celestial ballet would come to an abrupt end. The moon would no longer be our cosmic companion. It would fly off in a straight line, continuing on the path it was on the moment gravity vanished. It would become a rogue object careening through the solar system. The same would happen to Earth, or what's left of it. The cloud of debris that was once our home would travel in a straight line, tangent to its former orbit, flying out into the cold, dark expanse of interstellar space. The Sun, a colossal ball of gas held together by its own immense gravity, would face the same fate as Earth, but on a much, much grander scale. The nuclear fusion happening in its core creates a massive outward pressure. Gravity is the only thing containing that power. Without gravity, the Sun would detonate in a cataclysmic explosion of unimaginable proportions, releasing all its energy in a single, final, blinding flash. It would be a supernova-like event, but different, an uncontained release of plasma that would vaporize anything left in the solar system. The other planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, they'd all meet a similar fate. The gas giants would expand into enormous clouds, and the rocky planets would disintegrate. The asteroid belt would disperse, its billions of rocks flying off in every direction. The entire solar system, a beautifully ordered system for billions of years, would devolve into a chaotic mess of expanding gas clouds and debris flying at incredible speeds in straight lines. Looking even further out, the consequences are just as dire. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is a collection of hundreds of billions of stars, all held together by gravity. Without it, the stars would stop orbiting the galactic center. Each star would simply continue on its current trajectory, flying off in a straight line. The majestic spiral arms of our galaxy would unwind and dissolve. Over millions of years, the stars would drift apart, and the galaxy would cease to exist as a cohesive structure. And it wouldn't stop there. Galaxies themselves are grouped into clusters and superclusters, also held together by gravity. The local group, which includes the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies, would break apart. Andromeda would no longer be on a collision course with us. Instead, it and every other galaxy would fly off on its own path. The entire cosmic web, the large-scale structure of the universe, would unravel. The universe would become a uniform, featureless, and ever-expanding soup of elementary particles, rogue stars, and dead planets. Everything would just drift apart forever. So, from the smallest objects in your room to the largest structures in the cosmos, everything depends on this fundamental force. Gravity is not just what keeps our feet on the ground. It's the architect of the universe. It sculpts stars, holds planets in their orbits, and builds galaxies. It is the silent, invisible force that allows for order, structure, and ultimately, for life itself to exist. The scenario of gravity disappearing is a fantastic way to appreciate just how crucial it is. It's easy to take it for granted because it's always there, a constant and unchanging part of our reality. But without it, there would be no up or down, no planets, no stars, no galaxies. There would be no us. The universe as we know it would simply cease to be. So next time you drop your keys or feel the solid ground beneath your feet, take a moment to thank gravity. It's doing a lot more work than you might think. This was a wild thought experiment, wasn't it? What other what-if scenarios would you like us to explore? Let us know in the comments below. We love diving into these mind-bending questions with you. If you enjoyed this journey to the end of the universe, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.